At what point does freedom from religion become the persecution of religion? And when did political correctness begin to take the place of personal opinion? For years, people have argued about the separation of church and state versus the repercussions of taking God out of schools. In Mr. Cutsinger's government class, the topic was one of the first we discussed, that the First Amendment, which establishes the freedom of religion, also implies a freedom from it. We've heard the cases: Santa Fe ISD versus Doe, which banned school-sponsored prayer; Lemon versus Kurtzman, which regulated the government funding to religiously affiliated schools; and Engel versus Vital, which banned a moment of silent prayer during the school day. But now, many students, particularly the Coons High School cheerleading team, are expressing their desire to support and practice religion in schools. Now the question remains, is this okay? And the answer is a resounding yes. A small school with no more than 500 students began a new tradition at the start of the year. Instead of slogans like "Electrocute the Lobos" or "Fry up the Falcons," the Coons High School football team ran through paper banners with phrases like Philippians 4:13, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Personally, I see nothing wrong with that. As a weekly churchgoer myself, I would be proud to see such an optimistic display of faith. And even if my religion did not include the Bible, or if I chose not to have a religion at all, I wouldn't be offended by someone else showing their faith. But for some unknown person in the crowd, the sight was just too much to bear, and they reported the Bible-based banners to the Freedom from Religion Foundation, which promptly sent a letter to the school district demanding that the banners be banned. The Freedom from Religion Foundation claimed that these banners were in direct violation of the separation of church and state, citing the ruling of the Santa Fe case. The cheerleaders and a majority of the townspeople responded with outrage, and I would have too. The cheerleaders argue that since the banners were made not on school property and not with school materials, that disallowing them would be a violation of their First Amendment rights. It seems to me that today in this society, we are so worried about rubbing even one person the wrong way that we give up our freedoms and our opinions for the sake of political correctness. My question to the school district and the Freedom from Religion Foundation is simply, who are these signs hurting? Most of the sports teams and organizations at Cy Falls say a prayer before a big event. The choir sings "The Lord Bless You and Keep You" before every single concert. The school hosts clubs like the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, the Muslim Student Association, and the South Asian Student Association. Everyone is allowed to express their beliefs and their cultures, and I've yet to see one single student who's taken offense to that. I support the Coons cheerleaders. If the football fans don't like the banners, I recommend they cover their eyes until the players run through and rip the banners in half. The people in the stands aren't forced to say a prayer. They're not even forced to listen to one. So let the cheerleaders hang on to their one visible sign of faith. Don't persecute them because one person has a different belief than they do. I think that the school and the country is already pretty free from religion, so let these students celebrate their freedom of it.